Are you looking for a new microphone for maybe classes, streaming, just everyday use? Well, look no further. Here's a cut the bullshit review on the HyperX QuadCast. I've had this microphone for a little over a year. This is not a sponsored video, but here's my review on the HyperX QuadCast to see if this is the right microphone for you. Right off the bat, I'm going to let you know what I think about this microphone, and I think it's a great microphone. Now, also keep in mind, I'm not an audiophile. This review is not coming from someone that's super experienced in audio and audio sounds. It's just from your average Joe looking to, use a microphone for streaming and maybe doing some stuff like this. I am aware at the time of making this video, there is a new edition of the HyperX QuadCast. This isn't the HyperX QuadCast S. It is actually the old version with strictly only red LED lights. The other one comes with RGBs and also a USB-C type. But overall, the audio quality that comes from this microphone is the exact same as the other one. So keep that in mind when you're making your decision. Now keep in mind, we're not in an audio optimized setting. I'm currently in my basement recording this. We got to start the channel out somehow, and it's not going to sound as clear as you want it to, so wait till the middle of the video and we're going to have a test at my computer where I can actually play around with the audio. Unfortunately, I don't have the original box that it came with, but when you end up getting the microphone, it's going to come with a 9-foot macro USB cable, a desktop mount, the microphone itself, and a built-in shock mount. Now, as far as what the microphone's equipped with, it comes with 4 different polar patterns that you can adjust for your audio depending on what you use. The first one is stereo, which picks up the left and the right audio tracks. Next one's omnidirectional, which will pick up all around the microphone. Cardioid would be the third one, which people would use for like streaming or podcasts and whatnot. And then bi-directional would kind of be face-to-face interviews if you need the front and the back of the microphone. The gain is also present on the bottom of the microphone through this dial that has a very convenient push to mute button on the top. You'll know your microphone is live if the RGB is on, and if it's off, the RGB will be off. And you also have a headphone jack directly into the microphone if you want to actually listen to how you sound depending on what audio setting you use. Now we're going to take this microphone over to my computer setup where I'm going to show you each of the audio polar patterns that it comes with and also do a little bit of sound testing for you to hear with your ears. Now here we are at my computer setup. When I've been using the HyperX QuadCast for well over a year, I've always used it on this boom arm. I bought it off Newer. It doesn't come with it. The only thing that HyperX comes with is the desktop mount. Now keep in mind, when you are using the desktop mount, it does pick up a lot of vibrations in the table, such as now, all of that can be fixed through audio effects, through external applications. I personally use NVIDIA Broadcast. That's just the easiest way of doing it for streaming, but you can also edit it directly through filters if you use something like OBS and whatnot. Now, for the remainder of this review, I will be using this boom arm. I would recommend this to anybody getting this microphone because obviously the desktop microphone, I don't think it's that practical. And it's just nicer to have this, and I think it's like $25 on Amazon. Now here we are with the microphone on the boom arm. This is currently at the Cardioid setting, which people would typically be using for Twitch streaming, and also it's on the first tick of the gain level, as you can see in this clip right here. And while I gradually bring it up, this is at the second tick, this is at the third tick, this is at the fourth tick, and this is at the 5th tick. Play around with how you like it. Typically, I usually like to keep it on the 3rd gain level. I know a lot of people that keep it on the 1st gain level and adjust their gain in post-processing, such as like Adobe Premiere and whatnot. Find your sweet spot. Find something that you like. There is no right or wrong. Well, there definitely is wrong. You don't want to have it too loud or too quiet, but you'll find your sweet spot. Now here we have adjusted our microphone to the stereo setting. So this, you'll be able to pick up the lefts and the right. Testing, testing. Now you can hear me on my right. You can hear me on your right. You can hear me in the middle. And then you can hear me on the left. Left, 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 left. Such as that will pick up on the left and the right. That's kind of used for musical instruments and whatnot. Now this would be omnidirectional. This is when you would pick up in everything all around the microphone. You'd hear basically in the front, the back. You'd pick up your computer vibrations a lot more, maybe like the keyboard settings. You'd be able to pick up all that. Now here's the Cardioid. This is what I was initially performing on and how you heard at the beginning of the video, and what I even use on the outside setup over there. This is what you use for Twitch streaming. It's basically just front directional. You're not going to hear a lot of the back stuff. Even if I use my keyboard, you're not going to hear it that much, at least not as much as the omnidirectional. And then for the final setting, which is bi-directional, this one is for the front and back of it in case you're doing in-person interviews, podcast style stuff, when you don't hear a lot of noise from the sides, but you hear all the noise from the back and the front. Now, I've had this microphone for a year, and I'd have to really say my only complaint is how finicky the gain dial is. Even if you accidentally hit it or move it, it could change and kind of mess you up later on. You won't even realize you're sounding a little bit too quiet or too loud. It's happened to me several times while I record or even when I stream. But the build quality on this microphone is good, and I also forgot to mention it has a built-in pop filter, kind of where all the mesh stuff is, so you don't really need to buy an external pop filter that kind of sticks out right here and has that big clunky thing. It's got it inside the microphone. And for the pros, like for what you're buying and what you're getting for it, I think it's a great microphone. You can't go wrong with it. There's more expensive microphones that are going to do a lot better for you, such as a lot of the Audio Technicas, the Sures and whatnot. But if you're just looking for an everyday microphone, something to stream with, something to use, this is it. And I would recommend it to anybody. It's not even a sponsored video, trust me. Now there we have it. For my final consensus of this video is that I believe that this is a good microphone for what you're going to use it for, most likely streaming, maybe for school and whatnot, everyday use. This thing's perfect. It looks nice and it works well and is very functional. But if you're an audio freak and you're really looking for the best of the best, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're probably not gonna be looking at this microphone, and you're probably already aware of that. So the ones that are actually watching this are maybe looking for streaming and everyday use, and this is perfect. There are better microphones, there are worse microphones, but personally, from what I've experienced with this microphone, I've liked it a lot, and I would recommend it to a lot of other people. Thank you so much for watching my Cut the BS review. If you want to show support and love to the channel, because we're just starting off, we're going to provide short form reviews for you guys to enjoy, right to the point. Click the subscribe button, you know where to find it, and also leave a thumbs up, and what other products or companies you would possibly want me to review or even work with. Peace, and take it easy.